What James Gunn said in this interview will shock you. Listen and see what he hates about his own work and what he wants to do about it. James Gunn is building the DCU the way an author writes a novel. One chapter at a time, every page connected by intention, not obligation. When asked what drives his creative direction, Gunn didn't talk about budgets, phases, or crossovers. He said simply, "I'm building a world. That's the core difference." Where Marvel Studios often chased a corporate roadmap, Gunn is designing a creative ecosystem. He's not sprinting toward an Avengers-style climax or forcing team-ups before characters earn their space. He's constructing something slower, deeper, something authored. For Gunn, the emotional truth of each character comes first, and the shared universe forms naturally around them. It's why he's writing or overseeing nearly every major project, from Superman, Man of Tomorrow to Creature Commandos. This isn't quality control as a PR buzzword, it's authorship. Every story in this new DCU must serve one central purpose: to explore what it means to be human when you hold inhuman power. And unlike Marvel's conveyor belt of tonal sameness, Gunn is allowing each project to have its own identity: horror, tragedy, satire, politics. The DCU becomes less of a franchise and more of a living library of morality tales. Now, let's talk about the most mysterious piece in Gunn's new world: Planet Salvation. At first, fans assumed it was another Darkseid domain, Apocalypse 2.0. But Gunn shot that theory down immediately. It's not space, it's somewhere else. According to Gunn, Salvation exists in an entirely different dimension, unreachable by ships or traditional travel. It's a brutal exile world, where meta-human prisoners are sent when the government can't control them. The concept actually draws from Salvation Run, a 1980s storyline co-developed by George R.R. Martin, where villains are stranded on a hostile planet and forced to build a new society. Gunn loved that idea, but he's twisting it. For him, Salvation isn't just an alien planet. It's a mirror, a reflection of how Earth's governments deal with threats they don't understand. In Gunn's version, Argus, the secretive agency behind Task Force X and Peacemaker, runs the entire operation. Their solution to unstoppable metahumans isn't rehabilitation, it's removal. Out of sight, out of mind, out of orbit. It's moral exile disguised as justice, and somehow, Peacemaker himself becomes entangled in the chaos. His story leads directly into Man of Tomorrow, where the consequences of Salvation's existence ripple across the DCU. Because once you create a world where power is exiled, it's only a matter of time before power comes home. This brings us to Man of Tomorrow, the film Gunn calls the ideological heart of his new DC universe. He described it as the escalating war between the government and metahumans. But this isn't just a battle of fists, it's a battle of philosophies. Lex Luthor, Rick Flag Sr., Amanda Waller, and Superman each stand on different sides of the same question: who decides who gets to be a hero? Luthor sees unchecked power as tyranny waiting to happen. Waller sees it as a tool to protect humanity, no matter the moral cost. Superman believes compassion must come before control. And Rick Flag Sr.? He's caught in between, a soldier who's seen the cost of both blind obedience and reckless freedom. Instead of relying on a villain of the week, Gunn's framing the entire film around ideology: fear versus freedom, faith versus control. He's turning Superman's world into something political, not just powerful. This government versus meta war becomes the foundation for every storyline that follows, from Lanterns uncovering Earth's hidden secrets to Waller tightening her grip on global defense. And the biggest shock, there's no cosmic villain lurking in the shadows, no Darkseid waiting to unite the world through terror. Because in Gunn's universe, the enemy is us. When fans asked about Darkseid, Gunn didn't hesitate. He said bluntly, "We're not rushing there." He praised Zack Snyder's interpretation, the mythic, operatic god of tyranny, but made it clear he's not chasing Thanos 2.0. Darkseid, Gunn says, is powerful, but overexposure kills mystery, and mystery is the heart of myth. Instead, his villains are thematic. They represent ideas, not just threats. Where Marvel built villains to raise stakes, Gunn builds them to reveal truth. Lex Luthor becomes the embodiment of human insecurity. Peacemaker's father, the White Dragon, represents generational rot and ideological extremism. Even Weasel and King Shark, in their grotesque absurdity, expose the yearning for acceptance in a world that labels them monsters. And unlike other franchises that kill off their villains for closure, Gunn keeps them alive, scarred, changed, and occasionally redeemed. So next time you see Lex Luthor, he might not be the enemy. He might be Superman's uneasy ally, a DCU where alliances shift, where morality is fluid, and where every character is one bad day away from falling or rising. Here's where Gunn completely breaks the Marvel formula. No big bad, no cookie-cutter hero arcs, no reset buttons. He's creating a living world where stories overlap organically, through politics, ideology, and emotional continuity, not post-credit teasers. In Gunn's DCU, heroes and villains can evolve, regress, or change sides entirely. Lex Luthor and Superman form temporary alliances. Lobo, the space biker bounty hunter, transforms from cosmic menace to reluctant anti-hero. Sinestro could rise and fall, not once, but several times. Each story builds emotional continuity rather than mechanical connection. Marvel gave us phases, Gunn gives us chapters, and each one feels deeply personal because his world doesn't move forward through events, it moves forward through empathy. So what's actually coming next? Here's what Gunn's roadmap looks like, and what each project represents philosophically. Lanterns, 2026. A grounded cosmic detective story with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, uncovering a terrifying secret buried on Earth. Gunn called it a true detective-style mystery with space cops, but thematically, it's about surveillance, secrecy, and how truth becomes weaponized. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, 2026. Inspired by Tom King's critically acclaimed comic run, this isn't a cheerful origin tale. It's an interstellar tragedy. A story about a girl who grew up watching her world die and wondering if compassion is still worth it. Clayface, 2026. Psychological horror set in Gotham's underbelly. Instead of another Joker retread, Gunn's using Clayface to explore identity. A man who literally can't hold his own shape because he no longer knows who he is. Man of Tomorrow, 2027. The ideological spine of the DCU. Superman's journey through idealism, political manipulation, and the blurred lines between savior and weapon. And through all of this, Gunn writes constantly. He's not interested in flashy Comic-Con reveals or overproduced panels. He said it himself. Sometimes an Instagram post says more than $1 million event. That's a studio head who understands modern hype. It's built online, through transparency, not stage lights. At its core, James Gunn's DCU is about empathy for the misunderstood. From Slither to the Suicide Squad to Peacemaker, his stories orbit one central idea: monsters who want to be human. He once said he grew up identifying with the weird, the broken, the outcast. And you see that in every creation: King Shark, Weasel, Peacemaker, even Rocket Raccoon over at Marvel. These aren't just comic relief, they're tragic mirrors of our own alienation. Every Gunn story circles back to a single haunting question. Can power coexist with compassion? Can a god remain good in a broken world? That, he believes, is the soul of superhero fiction. Not saving universes, but understanding yourself inside one. So while Marvel builds spectacle, Gunn builds soul. While others chase box office, he chases truth. The DCU he's constructing isn't about capes saving the multiverse. It's about people trying to survive inside it. Planet Salvation, Man of Tomorrow, Lanterns. Each story asks the same question in different ways. What does it mean to be human in a world of gods? And maybe that's why James Gunn's DC Universe might become the most daring cinematic experiment of our time. Because the real endgame isn't Darkseid, it isn't money, it's identity. The battle for the DCU won't be won in space. It'll be fought in the hearts of its characters. And if Gunn pulls it off, he won't just save DC. He'll redefine what a cinematic universe can be. So if you want to stay ahead of every secret, every clue, and every new world Gunn's building, make sure you're subscribed, because this time, the universe actually means something.